Hello, hello. Welcome to 4.7. The good news about 4.7 is that there's really no new concepts in it at all. It takes what we've learned so far, the add, subtract, multiply, and divide piece, and it adds in a level of difficulty. So we're just going to add in, look at our title, it says more than one variable. Oh, I might have to quit for the day soon. It's time where the sun is coming through my window here. All right, so what do we see on the left-hand side? I just have one example of basically combining, and then another example where we're going to have to distribute that negative. So when we approach something that looks really complicated like this, we really just are playing that matching game. We're looking for the same variables with the same exponents that can combine into a single term. So I'm going to kind of go down the line here, and I'm looking for anything else with an x squared y. Anything else with an x squared y, and I really don't see anything, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Now I'm going to look for anything with an xy squared, and I do see that I have another term like that right there. So because the variables and the exponents match, you can add the coefficients. So 2 and 5 add to 7, and then remember that the variables just go along at the end. They don't change. They stay exactly the same. And then I don't have anything else that goes with that 3xy, and I don't have anything else that goes with that 7. So sometimes you're going to approach problems where not that many different things combine, and that's okay too. And I think sometimes those are a little bit harder even because we want everything to kind of come together, and so the answer looks more simple and it doesn't always follow those rules. All right, number 2, the second example, we have that subtract. It is the exact same situation as up here. You might not choose to rewrite this one because it is so complicated, and you might make a mistake in the copying. So that does happen as well. So we're just going to change this to a plus, and we're just going to kind of write over our notes, and we're going to change that to a negative, change that to a plus, change that to a plus. Because now we're pretty confident in our ability to remember what our original problem was and how to deal with that. So I'm looking for x squared y squared, and I see it right here. So 5 take away 3 is 2x squared y squared. I have 2xy squared and another 2xy squared, so they do match. The coefficients are the same, don't cancel them. That's a positive 2 and that's a positive 2, so plus 4xy squared. And I have a negative 5 left and an 8x, so kind of think about which one I might write first. And I'm going to put that 8x first because, again, I want to make sure I try my hardest to make it in descending order. And so this is our final answer here. Okay. Foil, foil, foil. The only difference is that it got more complicated, so we just need to pay attention to our detail. So first out, in, last, everything else stays the same. So when I multiply those two things, I get 20x squared. When I do the outside, I have this extra variable back here. So it's going to be plus 8xy. The inside piece is going to be negative 15xy. And the back piece is negative 6y squared. Combining my middle terms, notice how those are still going to end up being like terms. So 20x squared minus 7xy minus 6y squared. All right. This one here looks even a little bit more complicated, so because I've added an extra exponent here. So I'll go ahead and erase this just for the purpose of kind of cleaning this up. Sometimes I think it can be distracting to have too much math on the board. All right. And so first times first, remember these little exponents are just going to add together. Don't get intimidated. So 8x to the 4th The outside pieces, a positive 2 and a negative 13 is minus 26. And then because these are different variables, just tack them onto the end. They don't change. The inside piece, 1 times 4 is 4. And same thing, those variables just tack on. And then the last part right there, 1 times a negative 13. And then y to the third times y to the third. We're just going to add those together, and so minus 13y to the 6th. You've got this. All right, these two are the same. So my final answer, oh, I hope I remember what this is once I erase it. It's y minus 4w squared. All right. So my final answer, taking this down one without having to sacrifice neatness. So that comes straight down. Negative 26 and positive 4 make negative 22. My variables just follow along for the ride. And that does it. Okay. So I'm going to erase this, and then I'm going to give lots of room for this last one here. So xy minus 4w squared. Remember, we're not going to square the first term and then just square the last term. We're going to write it out twice. And don't try to shortcut this until you're really... I still write it out twice so I don't make a mistake. So I would encourage you, even though I know the rule, I know the pattern, I know what it's going to be, but sometimes I just write it out the long way anyways. Okay. So FOIL it up. That times that is x squared y squared. Outside piece, now we're going to have 3 variables in that one of those middle terms. Oops. Should probably write the w first. The inside piece is a minus 4 wxy. And the last piece, watch your signs, a negative times a negative is a plus 16 w squared. Remember, on these type, when it's the same thing exactly, they're not going to cancel. So you should have a negative 4 and a negative 4. So x squared y squared minus 8 wxy plus 16 w squared. Give me a second to erase all of this. Fast forward me while I'm erasing. And I'll throw a few up here for you guys to try on your own. Not going to concentrate as much on the add and subtract as I will on the multiply. I don't know why I wrote the 6 like that. All right, so I would give us, just pause real quick, write these down. You don't pause, I'm gonna pause. Write these down and pause the video and try them on your own. I guess you do pause. Try them on your own and then start up again when you're ready to watch the answer. All right, here we go. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. The outside piece minus 15w squared x, again alphabetical. The inside piece is a positive, and the last number, so right there, and the last is a negative 9w to the 4th. Notice those right there are opposites. If you notice that at the beginning and you didn't even write those down, that's fabulous. We don't really mind as long as this is your final answer. That's your final answer. Okay? Over here, you want to make sure that you write this again. So one kind of tricky way to do that is just to do what I did right there. Just tack that onto the end. and nothing's going to cancel. We are going to end up with 3 terms in our answer. So we're going to go 36x to the 4th, because 2 plus 2 is 4. Outside piece is minus 12x squared y. So is the inside piece. And then that times that is a positive 4y squared. These go together and they combine to 24. The exponents aren't changing. The only piece that is changing are the coefficients. So I hope you found success, and we only are 1 section away from finishing our first chapter. So hope it's going well.